Hello, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone's doing well. I always want to let you know how grateful I am that I have followers, and hopefully that you enjoy and you're learning on how to see life through different eyes. So, I want to remind you to please like and share my videos. And if you haven't subscribed, please do that too. And I hope that, you share these to your friends because it is so important for all of us to awaken to the truth of life and rid yourselves of living in the illusion. So, my topic today is take that word punishment out of your vocabulary. Now, I've told you before, and most of you do know this, that we're all energy. Well, your thoughts create your outcomes. Whatever you think, whatever you believe, you draw it to you. And these are words too. If you would just think about some times that you woke up or during the day your mood changed and you're depressed or you're sad, or you woke up that way, and write down what it is that you were thinking. What were the thoughts that were going through your head? Because if they were negative, which I could bet you $1,000 that they were, it's why you get emotional. It's why you feel negative. Why you feel sad and depressed is because of the negative words that go through your mind that you think and you believe. And that's how it works. And what you need to do is practice being positive. It's pretty sad to have to say you have to practice being positive. But, there isn't anything that's broadcasted that's positive. There are hidden videos, hidden knowledge, because, the world has been about power, money, and control. And seriously, they have controlled you by fear. Fear runs rampant on this planet. And you all want this world to change. But only you can change the world by changing yourself. And when you change yourself, you change the world. Because the energy that you encompass is extremely powerful and loving. And it spreads out to other people. And you draw these people to you because they want to be around you. Now, on another situation is darkness is attracted to the light. And this really isn't what my video is about, but I do need to bring this up, that if you become attacked or, negative entities are around you, do not fear them, because they can't hurt you unless you think they can. I think a lot of it has to do with movies. All these horror flicks, and it's just, the list goes on. I'm sure you get it. The list goes on. All the things that you shouldn't do, because if you do this or do that, this bad thing's going to happen to you. And then most of you are churchgoers. And what did you learn since a very young age? That God judges you and punishes you, and you have to behave yourself. And so that word was made up. It's not even reality. The word punishment was made up to keep you in fear, and fear equals control. Do you want these people to continue to control your life? Do you want to live depressed and sad and sick, because you don't have to. When you see and understand that the universe is on your side, protects you, and brings you everything that you need. But if you're negative and you use negative words and negative thoughts, it's going to bring you that. Because you ask for it. It gives you everything you want. You know, if you say you're broke, you'll continue to be broke. It's negative. It's about trusting the universe. And, you know, it's kind of time to let go of your outcomes. So, punishment. I've seen people say that they were really bad in a past life and so they're being punished this life. No, that's so wrong. Because, first of all, punishment isn't real. It's not even true. It doesn't even happen. All this negative stuff that goes on around you happens because you draw it to you, because you listen to it, you follow it, you become fearful, you believe it, and then you practice that. You go on and on and on with all the negative thoughts, the negative words. And then you get angry and you get mad at people who tell you that life is simple. No, it's not, they say. But it is. But it's not for you if you're negative. It's not for you if you don't release your programs. Trust me, I've had to release my programs. That's why I know that this works. Now, you know, when it comes to myself, I can read people, I can read emotions, I can, you know, pick up stuff. But when it comes to myself, it's not easy. And I think that goes along with a lot of people. Now, you know, I had mentioned before that my guides want me to go to Mount Shasta. And because I'd lived in Oregon and it was so close, I thought, you know, why not go to Oregon? But you know, every time I've tried to go to Oregon, something comes up that keeps me from going there. So you can fight through it. You can fight through anything. You have free will. But if you don't follow what your spirit guides want you to do, your higher self, your angels, whoever you call on, then they'll watch over you, but you're not going to have a good time. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. So, I originally wanted to leave on this trip a week before that I left. And the week before, the weather was beautiful everywhere. And in my mind, I'm thinking the later May shows up, you know, it'd be better weather. And then I even asked my higher self, and they advised me to go when I went. Now I can say, oh, they punished me. Or I can say, they didn't punish me. They didn't want me to go to Portland. That's it. It's a really dark, negative place. But I was going to try to overcome it. And I have no idea, really. I can sit here and try to figure it out all that I want. But during the time I picked up that I was going to have problems with my teeth. And I mean, not to get into my personal life, but I did have a lot of issues with crowns and root canals just before my trip. So, you know, it's like all of you listen to your doctors and you listen to the negative stuff. I know you're wondering where I'm going with this, because I did have a tooth that was 50-50 on having a root canal. And I did have one root canal that I had to have done, and that doctor said, no, if your tooth is sensitive to cold, then if it heats up like within 2 minutes or so, then you don't have to worry about it. Well, that wasn't true, because the thought kept entering my mind. I really wasn't sure. So I drove a total of 1,500 miles. That's a long trip to be in a car. But it was fine because I don't see the negative of it. I look at the positive, like the world is beautiful, the sky is pretty, the trees, the whatever, It's your mindset. It's how you set your mind. You could say like, oh my God, it's going to be awful. It's going to be hard. It's going to be miserable. I'm going to be tired. And you will. And it will. That's it. You create it. You and only you. So when it comes to loving yourself in situations like this, whenever you can't do something, because I'm kind of jumping ahead here, so let me back up a little bit, so it's not confusing. But I was supposed to go to Sacramento. I met my friend. We had the best time. It was Mother's Day. I had the best Mother's Day, and it was like 83 degrees. The weather was beautiful. But when I drove to Shasta, I don't know if you've been there before, but it's a road that goes up a mountain, and the mountain is winding road. I don't like it. It's only 2 lanes, and it's the Interstate 5 freeway, which is the main road that goes all the way up north for all these truckers. So now you're on the road with a million truckers on top of it. But anyway, when I got there, the sun wasn't out. And when I looked at the weather report, it's talking about rain. So anyway, I was still headed to Portland after 4 days. But my last day in Shasta, it rained so bad that I couldn't even leave the house. I had to stay in the whole day. And then I tried to figure out, should I go to Portland? But I don't want to drive on this mountain road. In fact, back it up, I did drive on this road in February twice and got hit twice by a snowstorm, gusty winds, and I swore I would never do that again. And so what bad thing could happen in May? Well, a bad winter storm with winds and heavy rain and, not very good visibility. And here I was on that road. In the past, I would have said, ugh, I'm so stupid. I don't know what's best for me. See, I would be negative. And saying those things would not make me happy, of course. And I would continue. I'm being punished. I must have done something wrong. Isn't that where you all go? I must have done something wrong. I'm being punished. Well, there's the other flip of the coin. And, well, I left Thursday, but Wednesday my tooth started to hurt. And so I couldn't go. I promised all these people I was going to show up. I made plans. Some of them are angry at me for not coming, but it's not my problem. Because if I would have put them before me, then I would be secretly telling myself that I don't matter. And loving yourself is the number one. And you do matter. But only if you treat yourself that you matter. So it's like, I'm going to be in pain and visit people, drive another 5 or 6 hours in rain, not even get to do all the things that I wanted to do, which was go into the forest, or I have to go home. So I went home, and let me tell you, it was treacherous. And then when I got to a hotel room, my tooth hurt so bad. I was in so much pain. Now, if I freaked out about it, if I stressed over it, then my pain would have increased even worse. And then I would have been stressed and I would have been fearful, because this is what you all do. you go down that negative road. So even though I do Reiki, I did Reiki my mouth like this as I'm driving and in the hotel room. But when I got into the hotel room, I said, Jesus, I know that you are the master healer. And I've never asked you to do any healing for me, but I'm going to ask you, please send healing to my mouth. And do you know, within 4 minutes, because it wasn't 5, and it might not even have been 4, but just like that, pain was gone. And a voice told me it was temporary. And they told me it was temporary because knowing myself, if the pain is gone, then maybe I don't need to go to the dentist. So they let me know that it was temporary and I still needed to go. But when you tell yourself that you're not okay, you become more not okay. See, this is all negative. Punishment is negative. Judgment is negative. Fear is major negative. Worry, stress, bad thoughts. You all draw this stuff to you just by what you say and what you think and what you believe and the words that you use. And I will put down positive memes on Facebook and I get negative feedback from people. I sit back and I laugh. It's funny to me because then it shows me that, as my guide said, you've got to do this video today and reiterate to everybody how you draw these things to you. Your words have to be positive. They can't be negative. You have to stop listening to the news and then getting mad and angry because guess what? You don't know what you're listening to, whether it's true or not. And then you get angry. Anger is positive, negative. It's negative. And when you get angry, you draw more negativity to yourself. Now, do you want to stop being upset, depressed, or looking at your life that you're being punished? Or you have to be a good little girl or a good little boy, or you're going to go to hell. And all of this propaganda, because that's what it is. It's propaganda. It's not reality. I mean, do I have to wait for all of you to leave the planet for you to remember that this is not true? No. You have to take care of yourself. You have to be mindful of your words. You need to stop expecting outcomes. In fact, release all expectations and turn off the news. If you want the news to change, then change you. Spend your time putting love around the planet, saying positive things about the planet, so it becomes that. We all create our own future, and collectively we create future together too, by fearful thoughts. The world doesn't have enough food or enough water or, enough electricity for everyone. All of that is fear-based bullshit. So that's what it is. I can't express enough to you that, before you inhabited your current body, you were sitting maybe on a cloud and you were enjoying your time and you could manifest anything you want. But because of karma, you chose to come here and learn from it. You put yourself in some of these situations and then you stress over other people's lives. You don't even know what their life or their soul is about. You have no idea. You just see that these people are tortured or they're this. You don't know the history. You don't know the reason. And you don't need to get so involved in it because you don't help them. You don't help yourself. It's not that I'm heartless. I don't care. Because yes, I care. Why do you think I do these videos? Why do you think I was put on this planet? I was put on this planet because I have a vision that a lot of you don't have. I'm able to see things, put things together. And it's not from school, it's not from college, it's not from anything. It's who I am. And who are you? Do you even know who you are? Do you know your passion and your gifts? Focus on positivity. And if, things don't happen the way you expect them to happen, don't get upset about it. It's a reason. What's the reason? God does protect you all the time. But you ask for things that you don't get, and then you get mad at God. And God is creator source energy, and you are your own creator. So get mad at yourself for being negative. Get mad at yourself for spouting out negative words. Get mad at yourself for for doubting yourself and for criticizing yourself. When you criticize yourself, that's negative. It's all the same. It does all the same thing. If you want to see the gifts of this world, be positive. Do you think you could be positive for 24 hours or for a week? I mean, how else are you going to see that what I tell you is true? Unless you do it yourself. Whenever you're down, positive words, positive affirmations. And forget your past. It's not even real. It was an experience. Did you learn from it? Because if you didn't learn what your experience was from, you'll repeat it. And you'll repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. You can't move away from it. You can't leave the city, go to a different state and expect, I'm going to start my life over, I'll move. No, because you take yourself with you. And if you're negative, you're going to move to a different city, different state, and you're going to just be negative there and draw on more negativity from all the other people who live there because you bring it to you. So seriously, this video is about being mindful of your thoughts and your words and stop beating yourself up, self-doubting yourself, and criticizing yourself. Because you'd have nobody to blame for all the things that go on in your life but you. And when you're challenged by people, they're just showing you what you have to change about yourself. That's it. So start looking at the world with different eyes, with a new awareness. And focus on positive. And turn off that damn television if everything that you see on it is negative. And, we were brought here to heal ourselves too. We have the power to do whatever we want. And we have the power to heal ourselves. Pain is not a reality because it's negative. And yes, you feel pain. I felt pain, but I didn't, stay with it. I did whatever I could. My tooth doesn't hurt. I have no pain. I mean, I hate to tell you that this other doctor that I saw was totally wrong about me not having a root canal in this tooth. And yesterday, thank God, I just said, I'm going to the dentist and he's going to send me to a new endodontist who's available for me. And he was. So I got to go over there yesterday, but let me tell you, he shot me up with so much Novocaine and it did not numb my nerve at all. So I had to deal with this with pain. And he was shocked. And he could figure it out. I mean, he just said, like, well, your tooth is dead. Half your tooth is dead, and then your part of your nerve is still alive, or whatever. But I just sat there and kept telling myself, I'm okay. Tell yourself, I'm okay. When you don't feel good, pain is not real, and I don't have it, and I call on Archangel Michael to take it away with his emerald green healing light. Use your guidance. Use the world, the spirits, to come to you and heal you and motivate you and lead you down your path that they're always doing, and pay attention. Now, there must have been a time that they didn't want me to go to Portland and I didn't pay attention. I don't really remember. So I get the tooth pain and the major storm. I swore on my life I would never drive on that mountain pass in a storm ever again. And here I was in a storm. And I kind of wondered if I created it by that thought. But regardless, I made it down the mountain. I made it through Sacramento, where visibility was maybe 50 feet. I made it. And part of my lesson was I was told that I needed to know that I can handle anything that comes my way. You see, everything happens for a reason. So it's not being punished. It's not because I'm dumb or stupid. It's not because I deserve this, because you don't deserve any of it. But you create more of it because you believe that you deserve things, bad things. And yes, we've all had horrendous upbringings. A lot of us have, including myself. But overcome it. You can overcome it by figuring out what it is that you need to change, that you didn't learn in another lifetime. And realize the party is on its way. But it's not going to be for everybody. If you want to be part of the change, part of the new world where karma is gone, age is gone, all of this bad, negative BS disappears into the atmosphere because it's not reality, and live on a planet that's all about love and peace and harmony, and no taxes and no IRS and no prejudice and no cops and no government. Well, probably some kind of government, but no negative government, no evil, no demons, none of that stuff. Is that what you want? Change your thoughts. Change your life. And live it now, because you don't need to wait for it. Have it now. You see, if you watched my video, my last video, I had mentioned about all these crowns and how much money it costs. And I told my spirit guides that I have to cancel my whole trip. But they wanted me to go to Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta is a very spiritual place. And I was excited to see what would happen. And oh my God, I can't even begin to tell you the experience that I had the first day I was there. It was out of this world. And really, that's all they wanted. They just wanted me to do that and nothing else. And when I told them I couldn't, I got a check unexpectedly that covered even this darn root canal and my trip that I had yesterday. So, you see, I was taken care of. I was taken care of by a better periodontist. Use your spiritual tools. Use your positivity. Change all your words to positive. And if you spout out something negative, take it back. Don't repeat it. Don't say 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 it. Don't make it create itself and draw it back to you. And that's my message for today. I mean, it might be a little bit of a repeat, but apparently a lot of you are not paying attention because this was the topic that I was told to do. And just remember, do not have expectations to outcomes. Be free. Be an eagle and fly. And draw everything to yourself that you want. You know, to make the change, you might have to eliminate some friends. You might have to eliminate family members. So what? That's what you have to do because you love yourself, right? You care about yourself, right? There was a time when I was younger and I didn't have any self-esteem. I used to listen to my friends, and anything my friends told me to do is what I would do. And I started to notice that they were only advising me to do things that helped them. It had nothing to do with me, really. And so, you know, through my life, I've figured things out, and I've had so much help from above, so much help. And I just want you to know, and I know I was going to end this video, but I want to say something that's so important. I'd mentioned this before on how I used to work at the school district. Now, I don't have a degree I don't have a medical degree. Well, I have a degree in speech therapy. That's it. And it's not even a bachelor's degree. It's an associate degree to be a speech therapy assistant. So that's the only degree that I have. And, you know, I did that degree and I didn't really get hired in that position. And I had to ask myself, why did, you know, God want me to go to school and take this course if I didn't do anything with it? I mean, I was able to work in that field for maybe 6, 7, 8 months. I absolutely loved it. I told my guides, God, universe, everybody, how much I love this, but I could never get into the field. And I couldn't get into the field because that's not the purpose of my college education, because I didn't get this education until I was 50. So you see, the purpose was to be a writer, because that was the goal, to get me into school, because you have to take English and I had to take writing, and to be abused by this English teacher whose words keep still going through my head. So you see, even though it looked negative, it was a hard experience to deal with, I hung it out, and now I see why. You're always going to find out why if you're open to it. So, and the other thing is when I did work at the school district with these children, I would tell the psychiatrist, I'm not sure if he was a child psychiatrist or a psychologist, but he's the one who diagnosed the children, whether or not they needed to be in special ed, what their learning disabilities were, blah, 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 blah. And I would find things that he didn't even find through his testing from schools. And I don't mean the school that he was working at, from the college that he went to, how things are supposed to be. And no, because he was amazed by my diagnosis on 7 children. And he could not figure out how I knew. And how did I know? Spirit guides. They will tell you anything that's truthful. And if they tell you negative things, you're not talking to a good spirit. You're talking to a negative spirit. So make sure you realize that too. But everything I needed to know and everything I want to know, I am fed that information, or it's on the internet. It's on a picture message. It's on television. Whatever I need to know, whatever I ask to know, I receive 100% of the time. So you can do this too. If you follow your path, follow your guidance, eliminate all negativity, all negative words, all of them. Look at the good in everything. Look at the positive in everything. And you will have the best life in the whole world. And then when it's time to party, when the world does its major change, you're not even going to recognize it, then you'll be right along with it. Because that's what you want, isn't it? That's why you came here. You don't remember, but you came here because you already know the outcome. You've already experienced it. Trust me, it's true. So anyway, thank you for watching, listening, and making the changes to make your life better and to help the world become a better place. Have a blessed day. And remember, leave me comments. You can email me. If you need a session, if you need personal help, you can email me and we can set up an appointment through phone. You don't even have to live in my city or in my state. You don't even have to live in my country. But if you don't live in the country, you need to speak English. That's the only language I know. So you all have a great day. Love you all. Have a perfectly blessed, sunshiny day. Bye.